The difficulty of this fractal in tier 3 took me by quite a surprise, and ever since I've been dreading to attempt this in tier 4. And now that we're here at level 90, I had to face the music and figure out a solution. The first part is not difficult. The mobs hit hard and will kill you in seconds. However, there are many checkpoints and I make good use of them with just connie bombing with Thieves Guild until one of them is dead and then resetting and doing it over again. It is a bit tedious, but we get through them no problem. The mid-boss is a bit of a problem with its agony attacks, but thanks to our friends, it will not reset if we're fast enough back to the arena. The problem starts at the end with the Molten Bosses. At first there's the two bosses, the Firestorm and the Berserker. You have to kill one of them to proceed to the next phase, and we kill the Firestorm, because the Berserker is the easier of the two for this solo. Both of them have lethal agony attacks. The Berserker is the better of the two. It will jump up or slam its fist down to create agony shockwaves. And if you get hit by them, then outside of a few fringe cases where for some reason your character won't jump, it feels like a fair death. The Firestorm, however, is not fair. It will jump up and shoot out 6 agonizing fire fields. It can spread throughout the entire arena, so there's no use running away from them. However, being further away is in general a safer strategy. Because they are projectiles, if you're close, then usually you don't really have the reaction time to dodge any of the orange circles. But far away, you can even just walk out of them instead of having to dodge or run away. This fight is almost trivialized by having a long ranged weapon. I wanted to do this on Thief, but Thief with 900 range is just too short. And I found a consumable you could use inside the fractal, the Hylek Blowgun, which has 1100 range, and the damage is somewhat comparable. However, 1100 is still not enough. A ranger with longbow, which is around 1500 range, makes this fight just so much more trivial. Also, Ranger has an upside of being able to more easily glitch out the Berserker. You see, the Berserker is not that smart. It wants to attack you, but if you're not within 1200 range, he doesn't know what to do between 1200 and 2000 range. So if you run away and you're further away than 1200 range and there is a pet or one of your NPC friends near him, he will just look at them and not move or do any attack. Unless you stealth or run closer by than 1200 range or further away than 2000. With this you can sort of soft lock the Berserker. With the Firestorm in play, this benefit is not really that big. You only don't have to worry about the shockwaves, but the Firestorm is the bigger of the problem. But for phase 2, you can almost permanently softlock the Berserker. Phase 2 is where the big problem lies. The thing I was fearing the most and I thought about for several weeks on how to solve this. After 50%, the Firestorm, or in our case the Berserker, spawns in 5 Molten Dredge suits. And each Molten Dredge suit will in turn spawn a little Molten Dredge. And because they're molten, they're immune to blind, even though ArenaNet has made other dredge not immune to blind. I did a bit of experimenting and they will spawn at most 5 dredge. But that's still 25 little dredge with the 5 suits themselves. This can spawn an excavator, which is not really an issue if you just move around, or a redneck, which is just lethal. One redneck is okay, but they will spawn 5 and then there's 10, or if you're unlucky they will spawn 2 rednecks instead of an excavator and a redneck, and even if you run around you will just be shot to death. My first tactic was to use a ranger, a usual protection ranger you've seen a few times, but to no use. The second idea was to use Stealth Thief by slowly using Cloak and Dagger to kill them without getting revealed. This was not really that successful, but with enough patience I think I could do it. However, it wasn't really consistent enough for my taste. So I had a different tactic where I would just perma-stealth at 50% and then get out of stealth to Candy Bomb one suit and then go back into stealth. This worked, however, the Berserker would reset its health. For some bosses that doesn't matter, but for the Berserker it does matter because it will just spawn 5 more suits at 50%. So even though we would have completed the 50% phase, we had to do it again. Which brings me to my last and most successful strategy, is to just not enter the arena at all. When you enter the arena, the bridge on which you enter collapses. But if you send in a pet or a Thieves Guild, you will get the attention of the Berserker, and the bridge stays open. The Berserker it can be aggroed to around halfway of the bridge. If you step over the big divider, then the Berserker will just reset and slowly walk towards its spot and shrug off all the damage you deal. But as a ranger, we can use our cheesy strategy by just making him a DPS golem. This still leaves the problem of the 5 suits. However, if you stand on the bridge, they won't be aggroed, as long as you don't attack them or are in range of them. When I thought of this strategy, I was thinking to do the 50% on the bridge and just be perfect in jumping over all the shockwaves. But for some reason, sometimes the suits would disappear. I didn't realize it while playing, but looking at the footage, it seems that the dredge would disappear if you are close to the arena and then walk towards the middle of the bridge. In the top right, you would see the health bar of the Molten Berserker disappear, and the moment it disappears, because you're too far away, the suits would just vanish. In my successful attempt, I prepared to break the bar of the Berserker at 50% on the bridge, and the suits disappeared. I went 1200 range away again and just shot down the Berserker from there. It's a bit anticlimactic to have the fractal I would thought be the end of the run be handled this easily. But that's just how all these fractals go. First I find a wall I can't overcome, and then I find a glitchy hole to get to the other side. Thank you for watching. you.